This is a nano-online open course in which we'll learn innovative solutions in visual arts during the pandemic based on success story Never Stand Still. This success story is based on storytelling and presented from the interviewee's point of view and in his words. Let's start. My name is Angel Christov and I'm from Varna, Bulgaria. I've graduated first English language school in Sofia, and after that I continued my higher education in the sphere of computer programming and engineering. I'm in my 50s now and I currently live in a small village in the outskirts of Barcelona, Spain. When I was younger, the situation in my country was very different than it is now. I really felt that I will feel better and happier abroad. Life developed in such a way that many years ago I found myself in Barcelona and decided to settle there permanently. I've always been good at foreign languages as well as teaching, so I decided to start offering English language courses for anyone interested. I began to advertise my services via social media and small ads on different places around the city. I organize mostly individual lessons, but I also have small learning groups online and in person. I am the founder and owner of Celtic Academy Veda, my own educational company for providing language classes, English, Spanish, Russian and Bulgarian, and art workshops online and in person. Although my educational path has always been in the field of languages, computers and teaching, a large part of me has always been attracted to art. I remember as a child I loved to paint and make things out of clay. Of course, the times were very different then. Growing up in Bulgaria before the democratic changes in 1989 was difficult, and realization in the field of art was a challenge I did not have the courage to face. I decided to take a safe path, but painting has always remained my favorite hobby and a way to relax and find myself. After settling in Barcelona and developing my teaching career, I began to have more freedom and free time. Most of my engagements were in the evenings or on the weekends. I used this free time to return to my favorite hobby. Since I live in a house, the garage has become my makeshift studio. Due to renovations, I had to conduct my classes in the studio for a while. One day, a student from the Barcelona School of Visual Art saw one of my paintings and said he admired my technique. In the next lesson, he brought some of his paintings, asking for my opinion and advice on how he could improve them. I remember that we spent our time not in an English lesson, but ardently discussing art. Finally, he said, "You have to think about putting your teaching skills into a different direction. I think you will have success and you already have the proper space to do it." I realized that this is a great idea and nothing prevents me from trying to realize it. I turned the garage into a permanent studio, equipped myself with the necessary equipment and started creating ideas for trainings and workshops. The student who gave me the idea to teach art also helped me a lot to find people willing to enroll in my courses. He advertised my services among his colleagues and peers in the Barcelona School of Visual Arts and the artistic circles. I formed my first student group relatively quickly, and not long after that I already had 4 different groups. I prepared various thematic workshops, study groups, and from time to time I even invited famous artists to be guest lectors during the classes. Meanwhile, I had not given up my main occupation and the students I teach languages to. I found a way to combine the two activities, and although my free time was drastically reduced, I was happier and more satisfied than ever. In November 2015, I officially registered my own educational academy called Celtic Academy Veda. It was quite easy to transfer English lessons entirely online during the pandemic, as almost half of my students preferred this way of learning anyway. But all this time I kept feeling sad that I could not continue to organize the art workshops that had become a source of inspiration and development for so many young artists and myself as well. Then an idea came into my head. If languages can be taught online, there should be a way for arts too. I invested some money in professional camera and technical equipment and invited my students in an experimental online art class where they had to paint an alive model. I've arranged the equipment in a way that the model was presented from 4 different angles with the help of 4 cameras. The live stream was offered in a private online communication platform to which only the students had access. In this way, not only that they were able to choose from which angle to paint, but they could have done it from the comfort of their own home. The first experimental classes were a huge success. This gave me the push to continue exploring and trying out new methods and materials, different ways of conceptualizing the art that I've been working on for years. I also started to provide theoretical online classes which, apart from being educational, were also therapeutical in these uncertain times. The pandemic provided me with the time to focus, to create something very new, a little bit more adventurous than I was used to. I thought that would be kind of a wonderful idea because I always wanted to have a little bit more time to focus on my art and bring it to the next level. I realized that I'm in a lucky space, being healthy, happy, and able to continue do what I love. Besides the negativity and uncertainty, the pandemic also provided me with the time to pause and see things from another perspective. The isolation and solitude let me think big. It wasn't easy, but I managed to overcome the obstacles and come up with something successful. To sum up, it is very easy for a person to focus only on the negative parts of life, but with the right attitude and proactive thinking, positivity could be found in any situation. Undoubtedly, the COVID-19 pandemic is one of the greatest challenges in modern history. Its short-term and long-term effects can be found in all spheres of life. However, as a person who always sees the glass half full, I somehow managed to find some positive sides in the whole situation. COVID has felt uncomfortable, disturbing, and extremely normal all at once. Normal because I spend most of my time at home anyway. Uncomfortable and disturbing because the social distancing measures have forced me to cancel my painting classes, at least at the beginning. None of us knows when the pandemic will end and whether life will return to normal at all. Nevertheless, I plan to continue to look for ways to develop activities that make me happy and satisfied, adapting to the situation. Although I miss normal communication, social isolation and the rapid development of technology have opened up new opportunities for work, communication and development. I hope to be able to resume activities in a real environment in the near future, but I will continue to organize online workshops because I think they have great potential. Development in the field of art is not easy. Talent alone is never enough. One must always be open to challenges, not stop looking for ways to develop and never stand still. Try new things, fail, try again, and never give up. Find what makes you happy and satisfied. Give yourself time to rest and reflect. If life puts you to the test, don't despair, because there is a way to achieve almost anything. Now we invite you to the quiz section, where you will be able to check your obtained knowledge by answering 3 questions. Tick the correct answer. Whether you choose right or wrong, you will be given an explanation for the answer. That's all for this session. Thank you for your participation. Follow the program to learn more skills on competence, understanding of main components of innovations in CCS.